Welcome to the Basic Bookkeeping for IBOs. This is the Virtual Call Center Owners edition of this course. The objective overview is we're going to be speaking about bookkeeping facts for IBOs, benefits of bookkeeping for your business, DIY, which is doing it yourself. Use bookkeeping as an additional source of income for IBOs, and the Bookkeeping for IBOs digital course. Meet the instructor. So my name is Pia Hill, accountant and tax specialist for Ptax and Accounting. I have an extensive background in the financial industry. So my journey began at the age of 9 when my mother, who was an accountant and entrepreneur, taught me the fundamentals of bookkeeping. So once I learned bookkeeping, I took it to the next level and began learning accounting and tax preparation. I landed my first bookkeeping and tax preparation contracts at the age of 15. So moving forward, many of you know me as an IBO and a tax specialist for the IBOs. Through my tax experience with IBOs, I have noticed many IBOs paperwork, or in the bookkeeping world, what we refer to as books, are not prepared for tax preparation. So the income, which is like your admin fees and arise income and expenses, they're always uncategorized. So the IBOs are simply clueless on how to categorize expenses and what expenses they're able to write off on their business tax return. So many have stated that they wanted to either learn bookkeeping or they just wanted someone to help them with organizing their books. So over the years, my returning IBOs have gotten a hang of organizing their records for tax season. However, they want and can use a basic bookkeeping course that will provide them with a deeper understanding of bookkeeping. So due to the request, I have decided to create a basic bookkeeping course designed for the financials and record keeping for IBOs. And as a bonus, I have also added how to start a bookkeeping business to not only provide an extra source of income for IBOs, but to expand opportunities for their CSPs as well. So let's get into it. The bookkeeping process. What is the bookkeeping process? The bookkeeping process is the process of recording business financial transactions on a day-to-day basis. These transactions are primarily recorded from the company's business bank account and or other company financial records the company may use to record financial statements such as invoice, receipts, etc. So to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like or what I'm actually referring to, let's think about your bank account. So when you go and you look at your bank statement, you have your, the date, the description of the transaction, and how much the transaction was, if it was actually debited from your account or if it was actually deposited into your account. These are some of the fundamentals of bookkeeping, some of the same descriptions you're going to see. Well, the thing about it is when you're looking at your bank statement, you have an idea of what your day-to-day transactions look like, right? So if you're not, using your bank account day-to-day, then if you're doing it every week or if you're doing it every month or whatever, you still have an idea of what these transactions should look like. And this is a way that you could be able to follow your money, so to speak. So the thing is in bookkeeping, you're pretty much doing the same thing, but at the same time, you're doing checks and balances. And that's a phrase that's used in the accounting world. And that is to make, double checking, making sure everything is what it should be, and then to balance it out. So I was just using your bank account as an example to kind of give you a picture of what that should look like. Okay. Financial statements. A part of the bookkeeping process is preparing basic financial statements such as profit and loss, cash flow, income statements, and balance sheets. Financial statements are a snapshot or a written statement of a business activity or financial performance of the business. Also, financial statements are essentially prepared by an accountant. However, depending on the expertise of the bookkeeper can prepare the statements of the organization. However, keep in mind, Only certified public accountants, which are CPAs, are able to sign off on financial statements. Bookkeepers and accountants cannot sign off on them. So the reason why I'm stating this to you is because financial statements are needed for tax preparation and for business funding. And a lot of you, if you guys did like the PPP loans or you're out looking for grants and things of that nature, most of the time, what is needed is financial statements. That is your proof to say, hey, this is a snapshot of what my business financials look like. Now, in some cases, some companies or organizations will allow you to provide them the profit and loss statement, which is also known as Schedule C from a tax return that's based on your business entity. They will take that as your profit and loss statement because that's basically what it is. It's your income, which is your profit, minus your expenses, equal if you have a profit or a loss in your business, meaning that if you profited in your business, so say for instance, if you, after you take your income and minus your expenses, at the end, if you still have $5,000 left, then that means that your business profited $5,000 after all the income and expenses were taken into account. However, if you didn't have $5,000, but maybe you had like a negative number, and say, for instance, it's $1,000, then that means that your business lost. So that means that your business had a loss of $1,000 after you take away the profit and expenses. So this is, like I say, these statements come about when you are trying to get funding for your business and different things for your business. So you want to be familiar with the profit and loss statement or the income statements, whatever they're requesting, you need to be able to provide it to them. But again, as a bookkeeper, you cannot sign off on it. Now you can team up and collaborate with maybe an accountant or a CPA, and they can look at whatever you provide to them. They can go ahead and review it. Again, do the checks and balances. If everything check off on it, they can sign, and then after that, you can go ahead and get your business funding by the bank or whoever it is that you're using. Misconceptions. So for some reason, new IBOs believe that they have to wait for a rise to distribute the Form 1099 NEC before they're able to send out 1099s to their agents. This, in fact, is a myth. If they are keeping track of their invoices and payroll distributions, they're able to go ahead and send out the 1099s to their CSPs with no problem. So for those of you that may be new IBOs, the Form 1099 NEC is an IRS form that you will send out to your CSPs at the end of the year, reporting how much money they actually made with your company. NEC actually stands for non-employee compensation. So the thing is if you're doing bookkeeping on your own and you're able to keep track of, your all of your business transactions, including all your payroll and everything else, then you won't need to wait for IRS to send you a 1099. You could just go into your own books yourself. You can see how much money you actually already distributed to each CSP, and then you can go ahead and either go through a service like myself, my company, we actually prepare 1099s for companies. So you can reach out to me and I can prepare those 1099s for you. Or if you already have someone else that does it for you, or you use some other source, then you can go ahead and distribute those 1099s. All right. So you do not have to wait. And that's the beauty of bookkeeping, because bookkeeping allows you it actually eliminates the ability of having to wait on somebody else to do something for you. It's for this, trying to understand, what those numbers should look like. You already have an idea of what that looks like. Okay. The next misconception is the Form 1099 that's sent by Arise may or may not include the Arise platform fee. So if the IBO is keeping good books, then they'll know that the platform fee is either included on the Form 1099 or it's not, the one that they receive by Arise. So this is very important when it comes to tax times because it can affect if you're able to expense the fee or not. So for an example, Arise going to go ahead and they're going to send you out the 1099-C, or in some cases 1099 miscellaneous. All right. Whatever form they send out to you, that's fine. But that is going to show, on the tax side of it, specialized tax preparers, they understand what to do with that form, okay, in order for it to work and fit for your business and what you're doing. All right. So you don't have to worry about that part. The part that you need to be concerned about is if Arise is including your platform fee inside of your 1099, then now you can expense it. If Arise is not including your platform fee in the 1099, then you can't expense it. So in that case, if you are doing your own bookkeeping and you're keeping up with your own books and your books are organized, then you don't have to be concerned about, well, you do want to be concerned about if Arise put the fee in there or not, but you don't have to, trying to contact partner support to try to figure it out and all these different things, because we know sometimes when you call partner support, you can't always find the answers that you need. And then you don't always want to be going in the IBO group, because everyone that's in the IBO group, they are not tax specialists. So because they're not tax specialists, I don't want, they really don't understand how that thing works, that scenario works in a lot of cases. So I don't want you guys to go out there getting misinformation. You want to always go to a professional, tax professional, to figure that out. But like I say, if you already are doing your books yourself, then after that, you will already know if this platform fee is taken out or not. And then in that case, when it comes down to getting your taxes prepared, you can already let your tax professional, or if you decide to hire me on as your tax professional, then just let me, we can find out at that time. You let me know at that time if the fee was taken out or not, and then we'll know if we can expense it or not. All right. And the last misconception is when IBOs are continuing their education, training, a lot of them do not believe that their expenses are tax deductible. Well, however, they are tax deductible. So any education and any training that you get as it pertains to your IBO or even your CSPs, if for whatever reason, if you decide that you're gonna, I don't know, I'm not even gonna touch that. But anyway, for your business, if you are providing if you're going to training for your business, then you are able to expense that. It's a tax deduction. So with that being said, this bookkeeping course, the bookkeeping for IBOs course, will be a tax deduction for your IBO. So it actually will affect you, as far as your taxes is concerned. So it can actually work in your favor. All right. Okay, so let's see. So to put this all into perspective, for an IBO, let us use the standard IBO business. So for example, at tax time, you take at tax time, your tax professional will ask you for either your financial statements and or your business transaction report for both your income and expenses. So examples of expenses are like your headset, your payroll fees, internet or telephone fees or charges. And all of this is for the entire year. Now, you don't want to provide them with each individual transaction and expect for the tax preparer to tally them up for you, or you'll be charged an hourly bookkeeping fee on top of your tax preparation fee. All right. So you need all of these amounts to be already in one report so that you can provide them to your tax preparer. So your amounts are expected to be accurate, as they are the same amounts that will be used on your business tax return. So the amounts, taxes, and credits and other factors will determine if you will receive a tax refund or if you will actually owe the IRS. All right. So let's speak about applications. So there are many IBOs who use applications such as QuickBooks, FreshBooks, et cetera, to track their business transactions. However, this is, think about it. This is an automated process. So there's a large chance that some of the business transactions would be miscategorized, which in turn could affect your tax return and your chances to get business funding. All right. So to eliminate this, you can hire a bookkeeper or an accountant to do the work for you. But instead, how would you like to do it yourself? So speaking about doing it yourself, if you did it yourself, wouldn't you try your best to ensure your financials were accurate so that if your tax return was ever audited by the IRS, you could provide the IRS with your financials with ease and confidence because you know you prepared the books for your business based on your records, right? This also eliminates having to contact your accountant to ask questions or to get an understanding about your books. So in turn, you will try to attempt to explain all of this to the IRS. And if you don't really know what you're talking about, then the IRS is going to just wipe everything clear pretty much of what you said that was on this tax return. If you can't prove it, you don't have evidence, then after that, they're going to wipe it clean and they're going to come up with their own number. So say, for instance, if you had got a refund, oh, they most likely they're going to want that refund back. And then they could turn around and charge you interest and penalties. All right. So, to eliminate all of that, um, this is a good way to be able to go ahead and do it yourself. Also, you know exactly what your bank account should look like from month to month. Because like I was giving you the scenario earlier, the example earlier, that you should be tracking, or your bank is actually tracking your transactions anyway. So then in that case, you'll have the ability to check behind your bank to ensure that there's no miscalculations or extra charges or undercharges to your bank account. All right. So, sometimes you look at your bank account and you're like, hey, wait a minute. I know I paid for, I purchased some paper from Office Depot and I don't see this on here. Or I know I just paid my internet bill and I don't see it on here. Or why is my internet bill showing on here twice? Okay. So you can go, if you already know bookkeeping, you can actually go behind your bank and be able to do what is called bank reconciliation. And that is part of the bookkeeping process. And when you learn bank reconciliation, then after that, you really have a bird's eye view of what your bank account should look like. And then not only that, like say, for instance, you have some transactions that took place at the end of the month. But by the time your bank statement came along, you don't see those transactions, you'll know how to roll that over and what that should look like in a bank reconciliation. So it's a lot of different things you're going to learn with bookkeeping, but it's really going to help you out a lot. So believe it or not, bookkeeping is really fun and a very easy task once you get the proper training and hang of it. So think about it. I learned bookkeeping at the age of 9. Now, I'm a math person. I've always been a numbers person and everything else. So that was something that my mom knew. So she took advantage of that. Our parents can be sometimes. However, you just need to know basic math. It's not like you need to know all these different formulas and stuff like that. No, you don't have to do that unless you have some other if it gets more intensive, then after that, you want to go and speak with an accountant, like someone like myself, you can actually reach out to me and then I can look over the books for you. But for the most part, it's just basic arithmetic. All right. So then here in this case, because it is so easy, and like I say, with the proper training, you'll get the hang of it. I'm here to help make the training easy. And you could pop into the Bookkeeping for IBOs Facebook group to receive additional support. So there are many IBOs who are using spreadsheets to track their finances, right? So I don't know if any of you guys saw that right before, I think it was like earlier this week, I had placed in the Arise group for the IBO virtual training or the virtual meeting, that I was asking IBOs, how did they go about tracking their finances or their day-to-day business transactions? And many of them did say spreadsheets. So if you're tracking your finances, do spreadsheets. How do you know that the expenses that you're entering onto your spreadsheet, that you're putting them in the correct categories? Also, how about those Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal transactions the IRS is going to be requiring for you to include on your tax return? Because that is starting, right? So if you don't know about it, all of those, like say for instance, if you are paying your your CSPs, through Cash App, or you paying them through Venmo, or if you paying them through PayPal, those transactions will be accounted for. They will need to be reported on your tax return, right? Or even if you are getting direct deposits coming to you through Cash App or Venmo, PayPal, or any transactions, IRS is keeping track of all of that. Well, each company is keeping track of it, and they're going to be sending out what is called a Form 1099-K. They're going to be sending those transactions to the IRS, and IRS is going to be looking for you to report them. So if you are tracking this information on the spreadsheet, how do you know that you're doing your tracking correct? And do you know how to track chargebacks and refund? In the Bookkeeping for IBOs course, you will learn how to do all of this. All right. Okay, this thing has a little delay. All right, so starting a bookkeeping business. So this section is about using bookkeeping as an additional source of income for IBOs. So now that we talked about how the Bookkeeping for IBOs course can help your business, now I'm going to explain to you how you can start a bookkeeping business and let your CSPs do the work for you. So bookkeeping businesses are very profitable. However, they are only as profitable as you make them. If you choose to go solo with the bookkeeping business, then you are limited with how many contracts you can handle on your own. So just imagine if your CSP was trained in bookkeeping for your company, think about how many contracts you can actually have. So this gives your company the ability to increase the amount of contracts your company can have and take on, to in order to increase your, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting tongue tied, and to increase your revenue. So this is another way to offer your squatters. So you may have some squatters that's still just sitting on your sitting on your onboarding or sitting on your list, whatever list you have, and maybe you don't have any opportunities for them right now, or they're not interested in any of the opportunities that you have currently. Well, now this is another opportunity you can offer them. All right. And any prospective CSPs, you can now offer them another income opportunity. And then also, your IBO now stands out from the other IBOs with regards to competition, because now, again, you are offering another opportunity for your CSPs. All right. So let's speak about revenue potential and opportunity expansion for your CSPs. So currently, freelance bookkeepers in the US gross $55,094 per year, which is at approximately $26. Now, keep in mind, $26 an hour. So keep in mind, it just depends on where you live. So if you live like somewhere like California, you might get paid more, or New York or something like that, because the cost of living is more. So depending on where you are will determine how much money like a freelance bookkeeper would make. And in this case, if you start your own bookkeeping business, you are considered a freelance bookkeeper. So if one bookkeeper can make that much, just think if you add one CSP, now your company's revenue is already at six figures, just like that, gross or revenue wise. All right. The more CSPs you add and get trained, the more revenue increases for your IBO. So that's more money you get. The beauty of all of this is this course will help train your CSPs also. Also, I will provide you information and resources to resources to assist you with getting your bookkeeping business started. So if you go ahead and purchase this course, then that comes with it. That's a nugget that comes with it. All right. Or a bonus that comes with it. So just so you know, bookkeepers are always needed. Although there are different applications available, such as QuickBooks, someone needs to do the work and to keep track of the finances of the company. Most owners do not have time to work the business to keep up with their books. This is where you would come in. So think about it. Like if somebody's doing hair, right, and they're working in the beauty salon, in most cases, they don't have time to do their books unless they make time for it. So a lot of times they hire other people to do this work for them. You have a lot of business owners out there, believe it or not, they only want to do the work. They don't care anything about any books. They don't care anything about any paperwork or anything like that. They like, hey, I just want to do the business. I'll hire somebody else to do the business, the other stuff for me. Well, again, this is where you come in as a bookkeeper. The other thing is like I mentioned to you around tax time. At tax time, for those tax preparers that don't have bookkeeping experience, because don't get it twisted. Just because someone does taxes don't mean that they understand bookkeeping. All right. So at tax time, for those tax preparers that some of them don't even want to do the bookkeeping. All right. Because so let me tell you this just from my experience as a tax preparer. Sometimes we have clients that will literally come into our office with all of these receipts and invoices and all this paperwork and everything else. They bring them in garbage bags, they bring them in shoe boxes, they bring them in all kind of different bags or tote bag, whatever. And then they just give them to you. And they want they expecting for you to go through these receipts, get everything organized so that you can be able to prepare the tax return. But some tax preparers, first of all, again, do not know how to do bookkeeping. Second of all, they don't have time to do this. So guess what? You can now partner and collaborate with tax companies and be their source, their outsourced person for bookkeeping. And then what you can do is then you, if you get enough of them, or even other companies, you could do the same thing. And then if you get enough of them, all you have to do is you start, you streamline that to your CSPs. And then that's when that revenue really get to kicking. All right. So there is plenty potential in this business for this revenue. All right. So let's talk about the bookkeeping for IBO's digital course. Let's talk about what you get. So now that you have all of this information, in essence, you're getting a 2-for-1 deal here. With purchasing the course, you are learning how to do bookkeeping on your own. And then you could take this same information and start your own bookkeeping business. Oh, and then let me go ahead and add. The third thing is now your CSPs can also get trained as well using this course, right? To go along with this, you will also receive a lot of different sample templates, like invoice templates and different downloadable templates and things like that. I know as us IBOs, those things we like. So you guys are going to get several of those. It also comes with a planner. The planner is very detailed. It's very nice. It's branded with our information, our branding information. And it is really nice. You guys will like it and you'll get it. So, but as a bonus, you'll receive the support, you'll receive resources and a Q&A, questions and answers in the private bookkeeping for IBO's Facebook group. So when your CSP have questions and you're not sure how to answer them, now you have a fallback to use to get the questions answered. Just come on into the Facebook group and then you can answer the question. And then not only that, everyone is going to be in there asking questions. So then in that case, you should be able to refer back to a lot of the threads and you might just be able to find your answers. Okay. And if you don't be able to find your answers, that's not a problem. You just go ahead and post your question and I'll come in and answer it. All right. And so I got a little nugget for you. So since we're halfway through the current tax year and we're heading into the third quarter of the calendar year, as an IBO, you should be tracking your arise income, your administrative fees that you're charging. And not only that, you should be tracking your expenses. Keep in mind, Arise do mess up on their books. So it's very important that you keep track of all your business transactions because like I say, we all know that it's times that IRS numbers are not right. But if you understood bookkeeping, you understand organizing your books and you have everything on point. If you see anything wrong, guess what? You can contact them and say, hey, there are some adjustments need to be made. Now you have something more to work with and fight with, because I know some IBOs have to, in certain cases, have to contact support, and maybe the numbers don't look right and they don't understand. Well, now you have a better understanding what that looks like, because you know what the financials should look like based on just the information that you're getting from bookkeeping. So it all kind of comes together like full circle for you. All right. So, like I said, just to do a quick little recap. So again, bookkeeping is something that's easy, it's fun, that you could be able to do. It allows you the ability to be able to increase your revenue if you decide to do it as a business for yourself. Well, not do it as a business for yourself, but to start up a business and then add CSPs. Oh my goodness, the money is endless, because that's based on you and your contracts. As long as you guys are doing what you're supposed to do and you're following the rules, and your clients are happy, man, you could, they're going to let their company friends know, and their business friends know, and everything else. And that's just going to build your reputation for your business, and to be able to get more contracts. The other side of this, again, is that in the course, you could be able to utilize the course for your CSPs. Now, keep in mind this course, well, we'll talk about that inside the course. But anyway, the other thing is that you can learn bookkeeping on your own. You can use it for yourself. You can use it for your business. You can also use the same functions of bookkeeping for your own personal budgeting. And you can actually start teaching your kids budgeting. And if you got a spouse, teach your spouse budgeting. And then after that, that's going to help money management all together, all together. And so that makes your home a little bit more balanced financially. And like I say, and then after that, your kids can become very financial literate. So it's just so many things that come out of this, out of bookkeeping altogether, because again, at the end of the day, it's all about money. All right. And what you need to do with money. All right. So right now we have an early bird special going on. The early bird special for the course is $69.99. It expires on July 29th, 2022. That's the at the end of this virtual IBO Success Week. So let me just say it like that. Like this, for those who are watching and participating in the 2022 virtual IBO Success Week, we have an early bird special and some great bonuses starting today through Friday. Starting today, the class again is only $69.99. You will receive the bookkeeping basics course that includes templates for your onboarding packets, invoices, and templates. You'll get a tax time checklist for you and your CSPs, and a wealth of other tools and resources. So the first 5 signups will also receive a free QuickBooks IBO starter setup that will get your IBO business set up in QuickBooks and make sure your chart of accounts is set up and done correctly. So that means that if you guys choose in QuickBooks as the application you would like to use for your bookkeeping, then if you're one of the first 5 to sign up, then you will receive the IBO starter setup. And I'll come in here and I'll set up your chart of accounts and organize everything for you so that it will fit your business. Because you got to you got to keep in mind that these applications are generalized. They're not specific for your type of business. They say they are, but the IBO business is very specialized. So I will come in there and I will set everything up for you so that things can flow into your chart accounts properly. If they're not, if they don't flow like they should, because remember, all of this stuff is automated from your bank. Now, because you have bookkeeping experience and you understand amounts and adjustments and categories and organizations, now you know how to go in there and make the adjustments yourself. All right. So I want to thank you all for joining me today in this presentation. Oh, the link for the early bird special will be posted It should be posted right above, either right above this video or right below it. And then if you guys are watching on YouTube, it will be in the description, right? And here's my contact information if you want to contact me directly. Again, my name is Pia Hill. My company is Ptax and Accounting, and my email address is info@ptaxandaccounting.com. My contact number is 1-800-476-8690, and our website is www.ptaxandaccounting.com. So again, I want to thank you so much for joining me for the bookkeeping for IBO's virtual call center edition. And I hope to see all of you guys become bookkeepers. I'm here to see you guys win. That's just the bottom line. So I'm looking for you and I'm waiting for you. And again, the first 5 signups, you guys, you guys got a lot of other little stuff coming. You guys get a little freebies and things like that. That's coming for the first signups. And again, you get that QuickBooks IBO starter setup. All right. So thanks again.